Thank you very much, Eva, for being with us today from the other side of the world. We are so grateful to have you on board with the Harcourt's Women Try. Stoked to have such a famous ambassador with us. So I've got a few questions for you, if that's okay. The first obvious one is, what is your connection with Hawke's Bay?
Yeah, so I call myself, I'm a Hawke's Bay girl. I've grown up in the Hawke's Bay from when I was aged 7 to when I finished school and then left to go overseas and pursue my sporting dreams at 18. So yeah, Bay for me will always be home. My family is still there, and I always love to come back and visit and to reconnect with the Hawke's Bay community. And Triathlon Hawke's Bay was the reason I got first started into triathlons as well. I started my journey actually as a competitive swimmer and with Noel Hardgrave Booth at Greendale Swim Club in Taradale.
Nice.
And yeah, and then I did a little bit with the Trojans and Clive, and I was also running with like my school, Woodford House, and my coach Isabel Taylor there. And then I got introduced to triathlon when Tri Hawke's Bay had a really good junior development program led by Ken McLaren. So that's sort of how I first got into it. And then I went overseas to on a running scholarship, so track and field and cross country over to the University of California, Davis, so in Northern California, all the while having sort of in the background of my mind that after that I wanted to pursue somewhat of a professional triathlon career. So then 4 years after running and studying and graduating from UC Davis, I then came back to New Zealand and got into the High Performance Tri New Zealand program. From 2022 till now, I've been fortunate to race for New Zealand all over the world, and yeah, love the journey through all the highs and lows because there's been plenty of both.
Triathlon for me is the hardest sports in the planet because you have to be equally good at swimming, biking, and running. How is that possible? Or do you have a favorite sport or do you have a strongest one? How do you catch up and how do you make it balanced to be a world-class athlete?
Yeah, no, it is tricky because yeah, triathlon is three sports. I wouldn't say you have to be equally good at all three. I mean, people definitely have their strengths and weaknesses, but I think at the highest level, most females and males are really good at all three. And it kind of chops and changes based on what you're focusing on. And so I've got stages where I am loving swimming, but I'm hating running, or I am loving running and hating swimming. So I think there's also like a lot of joy in having three sports too, because it gives you that opportunity to mix it up and to, instead of just, I'm just running every single day, you've got options to actually like change things up. And so having that ability to train for three different sports can also be a positive thing at the same time. Triathlon is just so all about taking part and being part of a community. That is the thing I love the most about the sport of triathlon is it is the best community. Everyone I know in the sport is honestly just so happy to get out there, to train with your friends, to just get outside, to explore the place. I actually think that's one of the biggest benefits of the sport is the connections you can make with people and the fact that you can get on a bike and like go and see some really cool things and that there's just zero judgment because everyone's coming from all different backgrounds from all over the world, and it's a really great sport that people are just genuinely so stoked to be a part of, and it's something that can bring all these people together to just enjoy it for like the passion of the sport and for the feeling of like we're making these connections with others, we're getting fit, we're feeling healthy, we're loving it, and you really feel like a sense of achievement from not only completing a race, but actually the whole journey up to it and seeing how you can progress. It's a great sport to see where you started to where you finished. And I think that progression and especially the connection with the people you do it with is really self-fulfilling and empowering.
Can you remind our audience what is your best achievement?
It's probably a hard one to pick. I mean, I was really honoured to be named like elite female triathlete of the year this year through Triathlon New Zealand. But I think achievements come in all different forms. So I've been lucky to, work hard and have a few top 10 finishes at World Cups. on the World Triathlon Series. But I've also had sort of other achievements that may not seem, so flashy in the title, but at the end of 2022, I had a really bad back injury, and that took me out for over a year. And sort of mentally, that was a really, really hard challenge when I'd thrown everything into the sport. And there were definitely a lot of self doubts if I'd keep going or not. But having a really good support team around me really, really kept me going. And I think that psychological achievement for getting over that and pushing and then now getting onto the other side in a form, that's been a big achievement too.
What was the motivation to come back?
I think it was just this core belief that like I think I knew I had more in me, and I knew it was soon to stop or to let this overcome me. And I just, yeah, I think I had this real internal burn that no, this isn't gonna end here. I will be okay.
Mm.
And the frustrating part was there was no sort of timeline as to when I would then be better. So I think just that like internal belief that no, like it will get better, and there is so much more in me sort of kept me going, as well as all the sort of the external support that I had too of like, no, you are capable, you can get through this, you've got so many more things on the other side, and that like eventually time will heal and you can come back stronger. And I think just like giving myself the time, having that mental shift of like, okay, I'm probably, as much as I would have loved to have gone to like the Paris Olympics, it was like, okay, this won't be your time. There'll be another time. And I was able to see progress in other areas that I hadn't seen before. So, for example, my swimming and my cycling got a lot stronger while I was waiting for my back to heal so I could run properly. And I think a combination of all of these internal and external factors made me realize that, yeah, like I'll get there. This year is the first year that I've gone like all in, as they say. So my like full focus is trying to like complete goals in triathlon at the moment. And I
Mm.
think there's still a lot more room for progress. So there's still areas that I could become a better athlete with, some better ways of like fully prioritizing recovery, as well as like extra performance gains to get to. But I'm away for a total of 4 months this year, which is quite a long time. A lot of Kiwis and Aussies usually come back in the middle and go back over. But just the risk of that is changing seasons, cost, extra long haul travel. So I've just decided to stay and do the camp here instead. But yeah, a lot of racing on the World Triathlon Series this year, which is sort of the highest level of short course racing. And the LA Olympic qualification window opened at the end of May, which was the first race I did over here. So that's sort of the big like target that I'm chasing for these next 2 years, is a qualification for the games in 2 years' time.
Mm.
So that's what I'm pouring my resources and time into right now. But I think like the journey's so cool, and I think it's really hard if you're trying to focus just on one goal. Although it being quite a big goal, it's also been really cool to connect with lots of different athletes from all over the world, train in some beautiful places, push myself, mentally and physically too in different ways, and see like growth in different areas and try and just like embrace the journey too that I get to live this life for these few years, because it's awesome to chase these dreams, but I know it's a life that doesn't necessarily last forever. So yeah, also trying to really enjoy it too.
It's absolutely fabulous. The fact that you are traveling and training that hard and the work behind the scene is phenomenal. So yeah, well done. And I understand that there are a few sacrifices behind it. So is there no way that you could train like this in New Zealand? You have to go overseas?
Yeah, I did do a bit of training when I was back in Hawke's Bay, and obviously I come back to Hawke's Bay at least once or twice a year. It's great having events there as well. So when we had the World Cup there, in Napier for the last 2 years, I was so proud as a Hawke's Bay girl to show my international athletes from all over the world. Like we had some French girls, the Italians, who I'm normally competing against in Europe, and now I've been in my hometown of Bay. So
Right.
that's cool to come back to Hawke's Bay, especially for the purpose of a really high level triathlon. But yeah, I think it's also who you can train with too. So um, like the training in Hawke's Bay for triathlons actually really, really good. So you guys probably know Hayden Wild, who's like one of the top triathletes.
Yes.
Yeah, he also loves coming to Hawke's Bay too for training,
Mm.
which is cool because we do have really, really good facilities. Like at the Mitre 10 Sports Park, there is honestly, it's a world-class training facility. It's really, really good. And it's so great that Hawke's Bay has that with our 50-meter pool, the track, and the gym all in one area. Like it's actually quite rare to have such a good facility like that. So I'm really proud of the facilities that Hawke's Bay has. I think it's more just trying to find the connections with the people to train there as well. And I have just joined a new training group in the Gold Coast of Australia, actually. So just because I'm there with a group and a coach and a squad is where I do most of my training, and then having to be over in Europe for all the competitions too. And with New Zealand and Europe being so far apart, it just makes sense to base yourself here while all the competitions are going on.
According to what you say, it feels like Hawke's Bay is the perfect region to try a new triathlon for the first time when you're in Hawke's Bay with all the facility, especially where we are and having the sports park available. So, what would you say to someone who is hesitating or is not sure? What is the very simple advice you could give a first timer?
Yeah, so I think all it is about just getting started. And I think for a lot of people, it's like the swim that's quite daunting, which
Mm,
is totally enough. Like when you haven't been in the water and you've got to suddenly get in the water and there are people around you, like it can be quite daunting. But it's literally just about getting out there and taking the first step. We're lucky we've got lots of different swimming pools around Hawke's Bay, and the Mitre 10 swimming pool it's a beautiful pool. So I think it's just about getting yourself a set of togs, goggles, and just giving it a go.
mm,
All the at the sports park and the pool are lovely. So even if you're a little bit nervous, you could just go up and talk to one of them. Be like, hey, like I'm actually thinking of entering a triathlon. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. The lifeguards are also always there, just in case anything happens. And, would you have anything to help get me started? And start off just really, really small. Give yourself like 15 minutes maybe just to like get in, get yourself comfortable. And then literally all it is from there is just like consistency. So 15, 20 minutes the first time just to get your feel of the water. And then once you're like, yeah, okay, like I did that. It wasn't great, but like I did that. And then you just keep doing it. And honestly, it just gets easier from there. And if you can give yourself like, I don't know, maybe, I mean, the more time the better. But if you yourself a month to 6 weeks of like exposure before the race, you'll be completely fine when it comes to race day. And there's no pressure. And the good thing is, so many people will be in the same position as you. So there's zero pressure to feel like you need to be competitive on the day, because you don't. It's literally just about getting there with either with a group of friends or on your own for your own self-fulfillment, just giving it a go. Because like to see the progress from when you've started to when you're finishing, like it gives you so much like self-empowerment and fulfillment. It's really cool. So if you
mm,
can get a group of friends with you, that's even better, because then you can make each other accountable for it too. And then when it comes to the riding and the running, same kind of thing applies. It's about sourcing yourself some equipment. Just any bike, any basic mountain bike or anything does the trick. So
mm,
yeah, asking friends if they've got bikes, or getting your old bike out of the garage, checking its tires, taking it down to the shop and being like, all right, we need some new tires, and just pump them up, get the brakes checked, and then yeah, out you go.
mm,
And just to grab a friend and be like, hey, should we do this? Like, why not go out for 30 minutes and then hike it up to potentially an hour on the bike with your friends? Go get coffee, stop at your favorite cafe and with your bikes and grab a coffee. And I think most people actually really, really admire seeing, women out there giving it a go, because if you're ever afraid of like judgment or failure, like, no, you find that no one's actually ever doing that. It's almost like, oh, wow, like, look at them go. They're just like giving it a go. And it's actually like really cool to just go out and give it a go, rather than, feeling like, oh, I probably shouldn't do it. Just, yeah, just go out there and do it.
I really like chatting with you because you make it sound so simple and achievable and fun and easy and doable and inspirational. It's yeah, thank you for all these little tips. Yeah, you don't have to train 3 hours per day to do triathlon. You don't have to have the perfect equipment. You don't have to have a goal or yeah. It's just give it a go, as you said. So yeah, thank you for that encouragement. When I asked you, Eva, to if you wanted to be our ambassador for this year, it doesn't look like you hesitated. So can I ask you, why did you say yes to be our ambassador this year?
Yeah, no, I was really honestly quite honored and excited when you reached out, just because I know how like fulfilling and empowering the sport of triathlon is, and I think especially like for women in Hawke's Bay as well, it's such a really cool opportunity and one that I never really saw fully like come to its full potential when I was like in Hawke's Bay. And then I could kind of see it was like the perfect opportunity. Like, okay, there's a Hawke's Bay girl who was doing triathlon when she was back in Hawke's Bay, and she's now got the opportunity to come back and then try and inspire, other women in Hawke's Bay to do the same. I thought that's actually such a cool opportunity, and I really hope that I could have some kind of impact on just trying to get people out there and active, and also because I know how cool the sport of triathlon is, just to participate and to give yourself a challenge and to just go after it.
Eva, thank you so much. You are, as I said at the beginning, you're truly inspirational, knowing that a Hawke's Bay girl can make it all the way to the world class. We are very proud of you, and thank you for all your. You're so easy to talk to, and you make it look yeah easy. I know it's not. There's a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh no, thank you. No,
So
I've like
thank you.
be on the call. So thanks, Julie.